Now on 18 Eyewitness News.
After flooding 1 year ago, southeast Missouri is now dealing with drought conditions. St. Francis County has a unique way of saving money and time. Plus, a state senator receives endorsements from 2 teachers groups in his run for a House seat. All of these stories and how long will temperatures stay in the 90s?
Coverage you can count on. This is 18 Eyewitness News.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fred Dawkins, and here are the top stories that we're working on for you at this hour. With the official start of summer, the National Weather Service has declared drought conditions all across southeast Missouri. David Humphrey of the Service Office in Paducah tells 18 Eyewitness News that our area is experiencing a moderate to severe drought.
And what's causing is high pressure that's been predominant both at the surface and aloft that's causing there to sink, dry, warm, and pretty much keep us in a warm, dry pattern.
Humphrey says there doesn't appear to be any relief in sight for at least the next 2 weeks.
We're running about, we're already 1.5 to 2 inches below normal for June and running about half of what we'd normally receive for the year.
Humphrey calls this year's drought an anomaly, noting that many of the same counties were dealing with floods just 1 year ago. Well, now Dustin Kopp is here, finding out about our first forecast. Dustin?
Good evening, Fred. Good evening, everybody. It's been a warm day here in southeast Missouri, and it's still warm out there. 92 degrees in St. Genevieve and Festus, as well as in Cape Girardeau, 91 in Fredericktown, and 90 degrees in Van Buren. We're going to continue to be warm this evening with a temperature of 89 at 7 p.m. Partly sunny skies, partly cloudy by 9 p.m. 84, and 78 and partly cloudy at midnight. More details on your forecast includes some thunderstorms tomorrow and some more sunshine later on in the week into the weekend, plus warmer temperatures. All those details coming up later in weather.
St. Francis County Road Supervisor Wendell Jarvis has come up with a way to save the county money and drivers time. After seeing how precast box culverts were created, Jarvis figured if the county made their own, they could save a lot of money.
I got to looking for the concrete forms and the bracing that needed to pour these precast, and I priced it, and it was somewhat expensive, but once I put the pencil on the paper, it come out to where we could actually build these much cheaper ourselves, keep all the work in-house, and I mean, there was a tremendous savings on what we could save on these precast.
Jarvis says they've made their first culvert but haven't installed it yet because it has to set for 30 days before the concrete can be tested. Now, once the engineers have tested and approved the culvert, it'll be ready to install. Jarvis tells 18 Eyewitness News that the culverts will also cut down dramatically on the time a road is closed for a replacement.
If we go out to tear out a culvert out on the road, it's going to take you 3 weeks to replace that culvert because you got to tear it out, and then you have to pour your footings, then you have to pour your walls, then you have to pour your deck. So it takes time to do all them steps, and this road shut down the whole time. With this precast deal, we haven't put none in yet, but I'm thinking 2 days we can go out, we can tear the old one out, bring the new one in and set the new one the next day.
Jarvis says the road may not be completely finished, but they will be able to open it up and avoid a lengthy closure. State Senator Kevin Engler of Farmington has received the endorsements of 2 education groups in his bid for the Republican nomination for the 116th District House seat. Engler has received the backing of the Missouri State Teachers Association and the National Education Association. In a recent interview with 18 Eyewitness News, Engler said he considers education one of his top legislative priorities.
We have to first put education first, and now we haven't been able to increase funding, but we've been able to stabilize it even during tough economic times. The second thing I think relates to the first, and that's to do more economic development. The only way we're going to get out of this economic disparity is to grow our way out, not to raise taxes and tax our way out.
Engler will face Farmington City Councilman John Robinson in the August 7th Republican primary for state representative. A Viburnum woman is facing a September 25th preliminary hearing on charges of involuntary manslaughter in the death of her 3-year-old nephew. 30-year-old Marcia Kelly is charged with abuse of a child resulting in death and involuntary manslaughter in the first degree. Kelly had been caring for 3-year-old Eric Kelly and her own son March 22nd when she said she heard Eric fall in the living room and found him unresponsive. Eric died the next day. The doctor who performed the autopsy said the injuries were not consistent with a short fall to the floor as described by Kelly. And when we come back on 18 Eyewitness News, every day is Take Back Drug Day in Park Hills. That story coming up on 18 Eyewitness News.
When you're looking for quality home furnishings, appliances, and more, look no further than Heartland Furniture and Appliance. Heartland Furniture and Appliance offers great low prices every day and 6 months same as cash financing. No hassle leasing and great customer service. With 3 locations to better serve you, the customer. In Donovan, Dexter, and Piedmont on both sides of Main Street. Heartland Furniture and Appliance.
Sing a song about the Heartland. Sing a song about my life.
Oh, the blood of Jesus washes. Let it wash you this morning. Oh, the blood of Jesus shed for me. What a sacrifice that saved my life. With the blood, it is my victory.
You're watching 18 Eyewitness News with Fred Dawkins, Chief Weathercaster Dustin Kopp, and Jeremy Martin with sports. 18 Eyewitness News continues.
While most area police departments participate in the National Prescription Drug Take-Back Program twice a year, Park Hills authorities don't want drugs sitting around that long. Residents can now drop off their unused, unwanted prescription drugs year-round at the Park Hills Police Department. Residents won't have to wait to dispose of drugs they no longer want and could be stolen or abused. Park Hills Police will also come to your home to pick up any unused, unwanted prescription drugs that you would like to dispose of quickly. The Poplar Bluff Chamber of Commerce is warning local merchants to be on the lookout for counterfeit $20 bills. In an email to members in Poplar Bluff, the Chamber writes the Poplar Bluff Police Department has informed them that several fake 20s have been discovered in the area. The counterfeit bills have used 2 serial numbers, JB 642-743-12A and JH 732-058-32A. Authorities are asking everyone to be extra cautious when accepting cash. If you receive a counterfeit bill, take down as much information about the individual who passed it and contact the department. A Poplar Bluff woman faces a July 3rd Circuit Court arraignment on charges of involuntary manslaughter involving a DWI accident in Poplar Bluff. 24-year-old Christine Aldridge drove her vehicle into the Black River April the 7th. While she was rescued from the submerged car, her 2 passengers, 25-year-old Josh Phelps of Poplar Bluff and 29-year-old Jason Carrington of Malden, died inside the vehicle. Aldridge was legally drunk when she went through a stop sign, slid through an intersection, and went off the road into the river. She's charged with involuntary manslaughter and DWI and remains jailed on a $50,000 bond. She appeared before Judge John Bloodworth late last week and was bound over for trial. The National Park Service is showing their appreciation to those who served in the U.S. military. The service is issuing an annual pass that offers free entrance to all 397 national parks for active duty military people and their families. Faye Walmsley of the Ozark National Scenic Riverways tells 18 Eyewitness News where those serving in the armed forces can get their passes locally.
All active military service personnel can come to either our visitor center in Van Buren, our visitor contact station up at Alley, which is a general store, which is near Eminence, and also at our Round Spring visitor contact station, also near Eminence.
Faye says military people will have to show their ID to prove they're on active duty. The free passes are good for 1 year. Well, still to come on 18 Eyewitness News, can the food you eat affect how you breathe? Don Arnold tells us that doctors are taking a much closer look at the connection between asthma and soy. That's next in Your Health. But Dustin Kopp is making a last check of our Storm Tracker 18 forecast, which is coming up next on 18 Eyewitness News.
When someone comes in a Mineral Area's emergency department, our focus is giving them the best treatment in the quickest manner possible. We track every single patient, sending the doctors information before they even walk in the room. We have dedicated X-ray and CT equipment in our emergency department. We don't have to waste any time running all over the hospital. We know that minutes count in an emergency, and you can count on ER Plus at Mineral Area Regional Medical Center.
Storm Tracker 18 weather is brought to you by CNC Distributing.
Devastating tornadoes can destroy your home in just seconds. Are you and your family protected? I'm Clinton Bailey with CNC Distributing, and I want to introduce you to the best storm shelter anywhere. Our storm shelters will seat up to 15 people comfortably. They have lights and ventilation, and most importantly, they will save your family from the devastation of tornadoes. Remember back in the day about everyone had some sort of storm shelter, and now you can too. Let me show you how affordable our storm shelters are. Call me, Clinton, at 573-330-8869.
Now, here's your Storm Tracker 18 weather forecast with Chief Weathercaster Dustin Kopp.
And welcome back. The heat continues in southeast Missouri with a chance of showers and thunderstorms likely tomorrow, and the sun will return in time for the weekend, giving us a nice weekend, but it's going to be on the warm side. It's warm out there right now here in southeast Missouri, 92 degrees in Cape Girardeau, 92 in St. Genevieve. We have a current temperature of 91 in Fredericktown, Piedmont, and Poplar Bluff, 90 in Van Buren, and here at the station, temperature of 90 degrees under a partly sunny sky. Feels like 91.0 with a dew point at 63, 39% humidity, and a south wind at 11 miles per hour. Another warm day is expected for tomorrow. However, we do have this line of thunderstorms going to be pushing into southeast Missouri. That's our weather for tomorrow. So for tonight, partly cloudy skies, low around 71, south wind 5 to 10. We'll see temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s for the most part, except Van Buren 64, 66 in Piedmont, 69 in Poplar Bluff. So pretty much between 64 and 69, 70 degrees in most areas, 67 in Fredericktown, 68 in Cape Girardeau. Tomorrow, we've got that chance of showers and thunderstorms, high of 91, northwest wind 5 to 10, 91 in Festus, a little cooler, 89 in Potosi, 90 in Ellington, 91 in Piedmont, and 93 in Poplar Bluff. The next several days are looking like this here in southeast Missouri. Friday, we're going to see a mostly sunny day with a high of 90, 93 on Saturday. I backed that temperature down just a bit from the other day. We're going to see mostly sunny skies. Sunshine continues through Sunday, high of 96, 96 on Monday, mostly sunny. Sunny skies on Tuesday. Really can't complain about the sunshine, but the warmer temperatures is what we're complaining about. 90 degrees for your daytime high on Tuesday, and we are seeing a temperature of 94 on Wednesday. Another look at our weekend forecast here in southeast Missouri. Once again, high of 93 on Saturday with mostly sunny skies, low of 71. Then we'll see a high of 96 on Sunday with mostly sunny skies. That's checking your Storm Tracker weather forecast. More details are located at froggy96online.com. Just click on the weather tab. Fred, back to you.
Thanks, Dustin. And now Don Arnold is here in the studio with Your Health.
If you're one of the 25 million Americans with asthma, you know the toll it can take on your health and your wallet. The average asthma patient spends more than $3,000 a year just to control it. But an additional study is underway to test an inexpensive alternative, one that's simple as taking a supplement. Here's Clark Powell with the details.
For Katrina Muska-Duff, days like this are bittersweet. She enjoys spending time outdoors working in her garden, but knows that between the heat and the pollen, an asthma flare could be just a breath away.
Hot summer days like today with the humidity, a lot of times when there's the air quality alerts, I do feel, my asthma kick in a little bit.
Katrina makes sure to keep her rescue inhaler nearby just in case. But recently, she started trying something else. Katrina's part of a new national study to see if adding more soy to her diet can help her breathe easier.
Americans in general do not take a whole lot of soy, but the groups of folks who did seemed to have better lung function, and that made us think, well, maybe this is something that could improve their asthma as well.
Dr. John Mastronardi is an asthma specialist at Ohio State University Medical Center who is helping conduct the study. He says in places like Asia, where soy consumption is higher, asthma complications tend to be lower. So hundreds of patients are being recruited in the U.S. to take soy supplements twice a day to see if it can help them.
We have some very good drugs for asthma, and in a majority of patients they work pretty well. The problem is when the first-line medicines don't really work, then we're much more limited.
But if soy proves to be effective in helping to control symptoms, it could be a simple and inexpensive option for patients like Katrina.
I already take vitamins on a daily basis, so I thought maybe adding another supplement to my daily vitamin intake wouldn't be a big deal.
At Ohio State University Medical Center, this is Clark Powell reporting.
Doctors say that there's an ingredient in soy that's a powerful anti-inflammatory agent that may help control asthma. The soy study includes asthma patients ages 12 and older in about a dozen states. The results are expected next year.
Coming up in today's Your Life segment, how the idea of having godparents is making a comeback in today's edition of Focus on the Family.
And coming up in sports, the Cardinals lost their 11th game in 13 tries at Detroit's Comerica Park. If the All-Star game were held today, the Cardinals would have 2 starters, and the Rams' 2011 first-round draft pick is ready for full-time on the defensive line. These stories and more coming up in sports on 18 Eyewitness News.
Your Health is brought to you by Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy. Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy of Deloge. We're caring for you and about you is our business. From taking time to explain your medication, offering a caring touch, to a full line of medical equipment, supplies, and diabetic shoes. We'll help you understand your options and assist you with Medicare drug plan enrollment with a comfortable waiting area, convenient drive-through or free delivery. Caring for our neighbors is our business. Your locally owned Parkland Health Mart Pharmacy just off of Highway 67 at the Deloge exit. When you're recovering from a traumatic injury, the last thing you need is an unexpected bill. Because most health insurers pay only a part of air transport, Archer Medical has a solution, the Omni Advantage program. For a membership fee of $49 per year, Omni Advantage guarantees you and other covered family members will not have to pay anything that your health insurer doesn't provide. In an extraordinary emergency, the last thing you need to worry about is cost. Contact Archer Medical or visit them on the web to discover all the advantages of Omni Advantage.
This is Sports Zone, only on 18 Eyewitness News with Jeremy Martin.
Detroit's Comerica Park has grown into a house of horrors for the Cardinals in 5 years of interleague competition. Detroit increased its interleague edge in Comerica to 11-2 over the Cardinals with a 6-3 win last night in what looked like a heavyweight pitching matchup between Detroit's Justin Verlander, the reigning American League Most Valuable Player and Cy Young Award winner, and the Cardinals' Lance Lynn, the new tough kid on the block. But Lynn had one of his rare off games of the season, giving up 5 runs in 5 innings as the Cardinals fell into a hole they found too deep to escape. While Verlander was not unhittable, he only gave up 1 earned run through 6 innings before an error by Detroit left fielder Quentin Berry gave the Cardinals 2 runs and a chance in the 7th. But Verlander ended his night by fanning Alan Craig on his 108th pitch to leave the bases loaded. The month of June has been good to Rafael Furcal in at least one way. The Cardinals shortstop, who has just 2 singles in his last 32 at-bats and has seen his average plunge from .333 on June 1st to .287, has taken the lead among shortstops in fan voting for the National League All-Star team. Furcal leads Colorado's Troy Tulowitzki by more than 94,000 votes. Furcal twice has been an All-Star, but never a starter. Teammate Carlos Beltran remains among the top 3 outfielders. He has more than 2.65 million votes and trails only Matt Kemp of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Cardinals catcher Yadier Molina still trails San Francisco's Buster Posey, but has cut the margin to about 154,000 votes. As an NFL rookie, Robert Quinn was part of a timeshare at right defensive end with veteran James Hall last season. When all was said and done, Quinn played about half the snaps last season and had modest success with 5 sacks, 14 quarterback hits, and 3 blocked or partially blocked punts. Now with Jeff Fisher now on board as head coach, Hall no longer on the team, and a new defensive scheme in place, Quinn is the team's starting right end. To say expectations are sky high for him at Rams Park almost is an understatement. Defensive line coach Mike Waffle says, quote, "There's nothing but upside with Robert. When you're a student of the game like he is, you've got a chance to be able to progress faster. The second thing is that he has speed, and this is a speed game," end quote. Waffle was impressed with Quinn's progress this spring and is looking forward to seeing him at training camp. And after signing Barrett Jackman on Monday, the Blues are looking to add 1 more defensiveman to the roster this offseason. 4 years after making Alex Pietrangelo the number 4 pick in the 2008 draft, the club is now searching for a defensiveman to play alongside him. Even if the Blues hit the jackpot at this week's NHL draft, the player they're seeking will not come from the amateurs. The club has the number 25 overall pick in Friday's first round and 8 picks in all at the 2-day event. Pietrangelo's progress, while thoroughly successful, illustrates how long it can take to groom a young player, and the Blues are looking for a blue liner with an established track record. The NHL General Managers meeting on draft weekend, however, can lead to possible trades. If not, free agency opens on July 1st. And that's a look at sports. We'll be back with today's Your Life segment right after this on 18 Eyewitness News.
I'm Stacey Johnson. Protecting yourself from the sun is super important. But does it have to be expensive? How to save your skin and your money. That's just ahead on Money Talks News.
If you have diabetes and you're on Medicare, call now to get the new talking meter. These new meters are more accurate, they're easier to use, and the best news is you don't have to prick your fingers anymore. Arriva makes it simple. They bill Medicare directly. There are no upfront costs. And they deliver your supplies right to your door for free.
For more information, call 1-800-587-709.
Did you have godparents when you were growing up? It's an idea that seems to have fallen out of favor, but as Dr. Bill Meyer explains in today's Focus on the Family, maybe it's time for a comeback.
It's like they're our kids too when they're here, even though we didn't have them, but we wouldn't treat them any other way.
It's a home away from home for Deshaun and DeAndre.
They have their own rooms, their own clothes are here, their toys.
And while they may be the same age, they do have different families, except they share 2 of the most loving godparents ever.
We've been in their lives since day 1, so we've watched them grow and are they growing? You know, they're growing, and so it's beautiful.
Even the term godparent sounds a little bit old-fashioned, but it can be so much more than a ceremonial title, especially today when families can be spread across the country and kids need all the help they can get.
We take it serious. We interact within their lives. We're very much interested in how they're coming along academically, socially, and also spiritually.
DeAndre's mom is particularly thankful that the Richardsons back her up.
They've been there through the good times and through the bad, when he's sick, when he's well, the school stuff, you name it. If he doesn't do what he's supposed to, he's got somebody that's going to be in his back and getting him on the right track.
Deshaun, he feels comfortable here. That makes us feel comfortable that he can go
and be there and not have to worry about anything. It's definitely an excellent safety net to have.
A safety net that can be even more beneficial during the turbulent teen years.
Teenagers want to access people outside of their home. They don't want to necessarily go with certain things with their parents, and this is a perfect opportunity for a godparent to speak directly into their lives.
The children are going to benefit out of it, the biological parents are going to benefit out of it, and most of all, we're benefiting out of it because I enjoy it.
Man Cave! For Focus on the Family, I'm Dr. Bill Meyer.
For more valuable information on life's issues, relationships, and family, please visit FocusOnTheFamilyTV.com. According to the National Council for Skin Cancer Prevention, more than 3 million Americans are diagnosed with skin cancer every year, and nearly 9,000 die from it. Money reporter Stacy Johnson shows you how to prevent skin damage without burning your family's budget.
Sunlight. Simply being in it can make you happy and help your body absorb vitamin D. But you already know what dermatologists say about the sun.
One, everybody, of course, fears and knows about skin cancer. But another thing that sometimes we forget is that the sun will age our skin.
It's obvious you should protect yourself from too much sun. Skin cancer is not only unpleasant, it's also expensive. So here are a few tips that might help you keep from burning your budget and your skin. Here's a tip that won't cost you anything. Just stay out of the sun as much as you can, or at least avoid it between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. And don't let a cloudy day fool you. You can still burn. You want to wear light-colored, loose-fitting clothes and a large brim hat to protect your neck and ears. Next, sunscreen. After a 30-year wait, the FDA recently put out new rules for sunscreens that will result in less confusion and better protection. But that doesn't happen until next year. In the meantime, look for a water-resistant, broad-spectrum UVA, UVB sunscreen with an SPF of 30 or higher. Best way to save? Buy generic.
If it feels right and looks right and does indeed have the same ratings, then I'm okay with it.
So pay a little, but use a lot.
One is people don't use enough, so they don't use it correctly. And two, it gives them a false sense of security.
Bottom line, nothing better than soaking up a little summer sun. But don't be dumb with either your skin or your wallet. Want more details on products that work and products that don't? I've got it all right here at MoneyTalksNews.com. I'm Stacy Johnson.
And like Stacy said, he's got more information and links at his website. To get there, just go to MoneyTalksNews.com.
If you or a loved one has been implanted with a pelvic mesh, commonly called a bladder sling, you may be entitled to a significant cash award. Many women implanted with this device have suffered discomfort, excruciating pain, and even incontinence. The FDA has even warned that pelvic meshes may cause serious injuries, including pain, scarring, infection, incontinence, and discomfort. If you or a loved one has been implanted with a pelvic mesh,
call the Rely On Group at 800-797.
Do you see news happening in your neighborhood? Email us at news@kdkz.tv.
And as the old saying goes, it is hotter than a 98-cent toaster.
Or a firecracker.
That is hot.
It is hot.
Just how hot will it be coming into the weekend, Dustin Kopp?
Well, let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. As you can see, we're going to see a chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. We're going to see highs in the low 90s. Low 90s on Friday, but then we're going to start warming things up. I backed that temperature down on Saturday to 93 degrees, but then Sunday and Monday looks like we're back into the mid to upper 90s and then low 90s for Tuesday and Wednesday. But look at that, plenty of sunshine for the next week.
Oh yeah, and then we had a good report just a few minutes ago about how not to get skin cancer. Use a lot of sunscreen and blocks and things like this,
Right.
or stay inside under the air conditioning.
If you don't want to tan, just stay inside. You know, it's you won't get sick that way.
That's
Let's
exactly
just look at it that way.
That's exactly right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tonight at 10 o'clock with more. Until then, have a blessed evening and God bless you.
Have a good evening, everybody. Newswatch is next. We'll see you tonight at 10.
Here's what's coming up tonight on KDKZ 18.